Yes, people. What's going on? It's Egal Talks Football, and we're back again on another show today on Vibes from the Six. We're going to be getting into so many things. We're going to talk about Manchester City, Arsenal, and the title race probably later in the show. We're also going to get into Manchester United's ownership and what's going to happen with that. Yeah, are the Qataris going to buy them, or is it going to be Jim Ratcliffe and their people? Also, we're going to have to talk about top four and individual teams, and the transfer rumors are starting to circulate. We got Neymar potentially coming to the Premier League. We got Declan Rice going for 120 mil. We got people going every single way, and Chelsea seem to be starting to make some moves. We're hearing that Aubameyang is going to be headed on his way. We're hearing Kovacic is going to quit from Chelsea. Crazy stuff's going on. But people, stay locked on the show. If you're watching this on YouTube, shout out to you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, support the channel. We're on the road to 20K. If you're listening to this for the first time on Apple, Spotify, podcast, or Amazon, please do make sure you support the page there, and also leave a good review. But yeah, let's get the show started. We got the Tottenham fan in the building, Jay, the troublemaker. He's always here to cause havoc. How you doing?
I'm good. What have I done? My team got a W last week, so I'm as positive as you can possibly be, being a Spurs fan at the moment. But I'm here to talk. I'm always here to talk about Chelsea because I see Bowley doing his thing, and they've still not announced Poch, have they?
No, let's bring Jassim in. Jassim doesn't have much time, but we're going to be getting into Chelsea early in the show. Jassim, how you doing, man? Your team got a W too. You must be happy.
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate that. Yeah, my team, bro. Yeah, that was funny about Jay's troublemaking. I thought that was funny. The guy's okay, man.
Thanks, man.
We got my guy.
He's for you, bro.
You're on the stream after a win. Your Knicks beat the Heat, bro. You're going further in the playoffs than you thought. How you feeling?
Well, we're not going further because we're still down 3-2, so we have to go to Miami and win. But hey, I'm doing well, bro.
Anything is possible, right? Rakesh is going to be joining us later in the stream, guys. Hamza is also going to be joining us later in the stream. Big up to everyone who's joining us. The American is not selling to Qataris. Well done. We're going to have to talk about that later in the show. Hi, Egal. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing good. How's everyone having a good day, guys? And then big up the panel. Big up to you, man. But yeah, I guess, Qasim, we're going to start with your club, Chelsea, because it's kind of random. We'll start with Chelsea today. Before we go any further, Chelsea did get a win over the weekend, so that was a surprise package. We've already spoken about that on the previous show, but more around Chelsea and their outgoings. By the way, Rakesh has just joined us. Big up, Rakesh, Liverpool fan. 6 games in a row. Rakesh, since you haven't been back on the show, your team won every game. Now that you're back, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose. It's a madness.
See you later.
Oh, you're gone. He's gone. It
still counts. You already got on. It still counts.
You're already on, bro. You broke the.
You might as well finish.
Let's see what happens. But yeah, we're gonna save top 4 in Liverpool for later. But yeah, big up Rakesh. Qasim, first thing I want to ask you: have you heard about all the mess going on at Chelsea today? Because reportedly Kovacic is leaving. Reportedly Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang isn't. The only reason why he's not playing is because you guys are trying to save his wages and you don't want to pay him the wages. And you're even linked to Neymar to Chelsea today. What on earth is going on?
I thought it was going to Newcastle, though. I heard he's linked to Newcastle, name, isn't it?
Bro, the Newcastle stuff, I don't believe. I don't believe the Newcastle stuff, but Chelsea seems like a realistic landing spot for Neymar. But yeah, talk to me about the crazy transfer rumors at Chelsea, man. What do you think?
Listen, bro, it's difficult, Chelsea, isn't it? It's always controversial, and there's always things going on with Chelsea, man. I think regarding Kova, I think a lot of Chelsea fans will agree with me. I think this last year and a half has not been. It's not been. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Sorry. 1 second.
No worries. Yeah, guys, don't you think Kovacic will be a big blow for Chelsea though? Or am I tripping?
Kovacic. Yeah, I like Kovacic. I think he's arguably their best midfielder. Well, not best midfielder because they have Kante.
Their best midfielder. Come on.
Yeah, but he's still like growing into that role. Like I think actually Kovacic is very underrated for what he does. Like in terms of a ball carrier, he's probably the best ball carrier they have. Enzo's probably the best talent that they have, but he hasn't really he hasn't come into that player that we still expect him to be. How old is he? What, 21? So I don't want to label him as their best player yet when he's only 21. Like maybe in a few years I'll start saying that. I think Kovacic is very underrated. He's a big loss for them.
I think for me with Kovacic, it's like Chelsea fans are very, to me, they're not. I'm yet to meet that many Chelsea fans that are good at judging talent. I think they're quite poor at judging their own talent.
That is the most polite way.
I really wanted to think about how I want to say it because it goes both ways. So it's like when you think a player is better than they are, but then on the other side, when you chase a player out with pitchforks because you put everything on that player. So when I look at players like Jorginho and stuff like that, Kovacic, Mount, they put all of it on these players. Do you know what I mean? And then there's a narrative. These are good, very good players. These players could be squad players at any team in the league. Yeah, but the narrative, if you listen to Chelsea fans, is these players need to leave. They need Kovacic, like whoever Chelsea bring in is probably not pound for pound going to be better than Kovacic on day one. They've probably got the potential to have a higher ceiling and be better, but who are they bringing in who's like 22, 23, 24, who is better than Kovacic? Okay, maybe better availability, maybe higher upside. So to me, it's interesting. You want to fill your team with Lavias and Kones and promising young players. I think, if Kante leaves as well, I just think that the central midfield is a very tricky position. It's very hard to pick players and then put them together in a formation because anything looks good on paper. Do you know what I mean? Like Casemiro, Bruno, Eriksen looks really good on paper, but then you'll have certain games where just matchups you'll struggle. But you'll look at like a Brighton team and they'll have like Pascal Gross, McAllister and Caicedo, and you won't touch the ball for 30 minutes. So, for me, Chelsea have got so much work to do. And it's just incredible that, like, I don't know what they're going to do with some of these players because they're not getting big. They're not getting the money they think they're getting for some of these players. And I want to understand how Bowley's going to deal with that. Is he going to take the loss after already spending this much money? Or, what are they going to do in the transfer window? Because Pulisic, for example, like, you're only getting loan to buy on this guy. Maybe a loan to obligation if you're lucky. But for the money that you want for Pulisic, nobody is stumping that money after 2 seasons of injury. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, we'll see how they do. But yeah, I'm very interested to see who Poch wants to keep, who Poch wants to sell, what they do with, Kante, what they do with Mount, what they do with Kovacic, what they do with the Cobham kids. Chelsea's just got so much work to do. It's mad.
I'm just gonna say this. Jassim, jump in here quickly, bro. What is your hope for this summer? Like, you must be hoping for something. What's your hope for the transfer window? By the way, Hamza's just joined us. Big up Hamza. Hamza, what's going on, bro? I thought you were going to be another 30 minutes, bro, but you came quick.
Yeah, big up, man.
Okay,
Go ahead. What are you saying?
Yeah, bro. I mean, listen, I agree with Jay, man. Chelsea's got a lot to do. Let's go back to Kovacic, man. Kovacic last year or year and a half, man. He's not the player, And you all right, Hamza?
Hamza, you're wearing an Arsenal scarf. What is this?
United scarf. What is that? United scarf?
That's not mine. That's not mine. Someone just threw it to me. My cousin. What would you throw this such a thing? Get out of here, man. It's not my club, man. Why are they throwing the Arsenal scarf on me?
Yo, Jassim, take it away.
Yeah. So Kova. I think Kova. I don't know, man. Kova's a tricky one. I think he's not been performing this year. Last year and a half. And the issue is, come on, again, we'll go back to the top, man. We don't know. We don't have a clear plan yet. you know, because we had a rumor as well. We heard Chelsea after Rafinha, but Rafinha is about 27 years old. That's not a project to me. No, don't get me wrong. I take Rafinha. I think he's a fantastic player and a Premier League proven, right? But which one is it? Is it you want to go there and sign world class player to challenge, or you just want to sign young player to start project? It's so confusion, man. It's not a clear plan. I mean, I can tell you that for free. A lot of Chelsea fan, they don't even sure about Butch. I can tell you that for free, bro. So it's a Chelsea mess right now, and the owner is not helping. We don't have clear plan. And regards Aubameyang, man, Aubameyang he should have moved on a while ago. I'm not gonna lie to you. He should have moved on a while ago. He's been frozen for quite a while. He didn't play football. And it's not fair on Aubameyang as well, by the way. I'm not saying it's finished. That's a different conversation. But he should have moved on. If you're not gonna play him, you just let him go, bro.
Let me stop you there. Anyone else have anything to say on Chelsea before we go on to the Nottingham Forest prediction? Because I feel like Chelsea is a topic we could spend so much time on, but I kind of wanted to brush past it quickly because I thought there wouldn't be so much to deep dive into.
Yeah, just like I just think they just need to get through the season. Yeah,
They beat Nottingham Forest because Chelsea's remaining fixtures, if you guys don't know, they could they play people in the title race in Man City. They play people in the top 4 battle in Newcastle and Manchester United, and they also play a relegation fodder in Nottingham Forest. So it's like they have a big hand to play in all these different battles. So do you guys think there's let me bring Staffy in. He's been quiet. Staffy, what are you saying? You think Chelsea get a win in any of those 4 games?
I think they lose all these games, honestly. And I'm not even trying to bend it. It's like they have nothing to play for. You know what I mean? Like, I thought they would lose last game to Bournemouth, and Bournemouth was on a good run. But they somehow won that. I was surprised just based on form. But I see Lampard's trying to play the kids. He said something about giving yeah, Hamza is confirmed. No, but I saw something about Lampard saying, like, you know, he's trying to play the kids, give them minutes, you know, give them some minutes before next season. And that doesn't sound to me like they're going to take these games that serious. You know what I mean? They already, like, they confirmed, like, they were never going to get relegated. It was very hard mathematically. But, you know, they have nothing left to play for. They're going to just be trying to play for pride. But I doubt these kids understand what the you know what it is to play for Chelsea, especially under Lampard. I see a lot of losses, bro. You know, all these teams are going with a purpose. Like Nottingham Forest, they're gonna fight for you know, staying in the league. We're gonna fight for top 4, same as Newcastle. City, you don't even need to speak about them. You already know what they're gonna do. I really don't see them winning any of these next 4 games.
There you go. Rack, you need them to at least get a point against Newcastle. Do you think you could back Chelsea to do even that?
I mean, look, anybody backing Chelsea at the moment, you'd have to be a brave person, right? Based on the last 10 games or whatever you want to call it. But they won their last game. Bournemouth, okay, not the most difficult of challenges, but not the easiest away from home. Ultimately, they did enough. I think they were the better team for the game across most of the game. I hope, but Newcastle at home, right?
Newcastle at home and Manchester United away.
Oh, Newcastle away, I think.
No, they have Newcastle at home, Manchester United away.
Okay.
Like he's talking about Chelsea, yeah. So like Chelsea at home.
It's not impossible because Chelsea do have good players. If they can put it together on a specific day, they have a chance. But we just haven't seen anything. That Chelsea are not a team at the moment, and I'd be surprised if they come back.
You know what? We're spending way too much time on Chelsea. We got bigger fish to worry about, but I can't even say that anymore, or else people are gonna.
Stop using that word, bro.
He didn't want to say it a fry, so he said bigger fish to worry about.
Yeah,
like,
stop using it, bro.
Hamza,
Worries about fish.
Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. Think they lose?
Yeah, they're predictable. Are they away or home?
They're at home, I think, against
They'll
Nottingham.
win that one probably, but Nottingham are still playing for something. They'll probably win, but it doesn't make a difference to Chelsea, but it makes a difference to Nottingham Forest. So I think that one, don't be surprised they lose, but I expect them to win.
Big
Could
up.
be a draw, you know.
You
Yeah,
know
Chelsea's
what?
at
Qasim,
home.
what
I
are you
just
saying?
It could be a draw, that again. Because listen, honestly, it could be a draw because I think Nottingham Forest is not. First of all, it's not an easy game, bro. Secondly, they're fighting for their life, and everyone when you look Leeds in paper or Nottingham Forest, you see an easy game. No, bro, they're fighting for their life. Especially when it comes to April and May time, it's crunch time, man. I'll tell you this right now.
You know what? We're going to end that section there, and we're going to now get into the other guys who are fighting for their lives. Hamza, Real Madrid, Man City. I seen the watch along. You were stressed, but you scored that goal. You're aghast. And now you're worried about Sean Dyche's Everton. I see you. I see you in spaces get really worried. Do you really believe you're going to slip up versus Everton? And also, since you've come back and you haven't hid, it's time for people to ask him about the second leg and if he's going to beat Real Madrid also. So let's get into it. What are we saying, people? What are we saying? Hamza, take it away. Is the treble still on?
Yeah, treble's still on 100%. Definitely. It's on. I think the performance at the Bernabeu, listen, let's take it 2 years ago when we beat them, we won there 2-1. Last year we went there, we were better than them, but we were naive. They beat us, although they were not the best team. And that's what Real Madrid does. This year, our boys weren't there. You can imagine, you lost there last year. You're heartbroken. You didn't deserve to lose. You've gone to this Bernabeu. They keep telling you it's a Bernabeu. So they went there with a disciplined approach. They said first half, they had the ball. Madrid were on ropes. Madrid were on ropes. Half time, their fans were booing their team. They booed their team because we had them on ropes. They had that one chance, Egal. They had a couple chances, yeah? Vinicius was a problem. Camavinga, top player. Let's talk about Camavinga. Top player. What I like about him, it reminds me of Saka, like in terms of like professionalism. He's disciplined. He's a good boy. He's a midfielder. He's been told to play left back. He's played left back. Wow. He plays. He gets benched. He comes on. He plays well. He's only 21. You know, he's taking responsibility at Madrid. Not many players have done that. Vinicius has also done that. I give them that credit. Vinicius was good. Did Kyle Walker pocket him? I think he did. I think Kyle Walker had the better of him. But I think Vinicius he didn't go past him except once where he crossed the ball.
What are we talking about?
But Vinicius, he knew if he tried Kyle Walker on that side, it ain't gonna work. So what Vinicius kept doing, he cuts inside. He knows. Yeah. So he cut inside, and that shot is debatable. Could have keeper saved it. It wasn't top corner. Is it the power? There's a lot of debate. I believe top keeper saved that. I believe.
Edison is not a top. Edison is not a top.
Van der
Edison
Sar.
is not a top keeper.
Edison's
not a top keeper.
Top Schmeichel, Van der Sar, Courtois are saving that. That's definitely getting saved. That's being kept straight.
Sure.
Yeah.
But Hamza, Man City don't win as much with Peter Schmeichel in goal as they do with Edison, because your game is built around playing out for the back like Edison does.
but that's not.
But Edison, you know what? Edison came back. So when we had good possession, Madrid scored. At that moment, I was stressed. I thought, no, again. I am dominating this. Life is unfair. Life is so unfair. Like, I'm the better team. From nowhere, bang. Hamza's humbled. I'm shocked. I remember I was doing a watch along. I went mute. I said, guys, what do I do? Is it good? Or I was just mute. I was confused. I don't know what to say. Yeah? And then I was a bit nervous. But my players showed a lot of discipline, maturity. Listen, we can go to Madrid with that stadium, with that Galactico. We can be behind. And let me tell you, let's talk about one player that impressed me. The unsung hero, Rodri. Fantastic that game. Yeah, no one will give them credit. I believe he was the best player.
I heard a lot of people give him credit.
A lot of people said that he wasn't. I believe he was man of the match. He was stopping everything. He was stopping. He was the one who was bossing the midfield.
The man of the
that
match
game.
was De Bruyne, my friend.
Yeah, De Bruyne, he showed why he's world class. You know, I've been saying to you, when I lost that Champions League final, when I had De Bruyne coming off that pitch, I knew. Because players like Zidane, De Bruyne, Iniesta, one moment, they've got you on hook. Yeah, Modric, one moment, you don't sleep up. You have to keep your eye on them constantly. If you don't, they hurt you. De Bruyne went to the Bernabeu again. Dunked on Madrid, dunked on Modric, dunked on Toni Kroos. He's played against Modric. He's had the better performance on Modric every single game. Modric, De Bruyne, every single game, De Bruyne has a better rating. He has a better performance against Modric. Yeah. But to me, I'm happy. I'm gonna big up my players. Egal. We got the 1-1 draw. I am happy. Now they have to come to my ground and get the win.
Didn't they beat you last year at your ground?
No.
No.
They won.
We dunked on them. We dunked on them so bad, it should have been a 7-0 beating. But I don't know how they managed to get away with 4-3.
Wasn't it 4-3?
Yeah, my guy handballed it. Laporte, listen, Laporte had no right to handball. He puts his hand up, handball. It was just a free kick. Yeah. Fernandinho gets done. All their goals was luck. All my goals were outclassing them.
Be honest, Hamza. Listen, last year I feel like
if you go ahead.
I'm gonna agree with Hamza for once. I actually think last year, if you guys had Kyle Walker playing, that Fernandinho goal would have never happened. You guys would have won more than 4-3. You would have probably qualified. But that's the beauty of this game. That there's a lot of hindsight. You don't know what would have happened if this happened or that happened. So it is what it is. But listen, man, I think you guys had a good game. That De Bruyne goal, I heard a lot of people talking about this, and I agree with it. To be a big player, you need to have big moments. And De Bruyne hasn't really had a lot of big moments, especially in Europe. Like, there's a few Premier League moments. Like, as far as I remember that last game against West Ham. It was last season when you guys were down. Was it Aston Villa or West Ham? I think it was Aston Villa. You were down 2-0, and this guy gave 2 assists, something like that. He carried you guys to that win, and you won the league.
Wolves, when we got knocked out Champions League, then that game he scored 4 goals, is it? He scored 4.
Remember, to be honest. Yeah, actually, I remember something like that. Last year it was.
Wolves, we got knocked out. We came back, injuries, everyone's stressing. Oh my God, we bottled the Champions League. Oh, Premier League, Liverpool behind our necks. De Bruyne saved us away 4 goals.
But I'm talking about big European moments like this, Hamza. If you guys qualify, people are gonna remember this moment. I'm just trying to give them credit, actually. Like for a Manchester United fan, as an example, that Paul Scholes goal that he had against Barcelona in 2008, where we ended up going to the final, beating Chelsea. That goal is always remembered forever. It could have been. I actually think that was his only goal in the Champions League that year. I could be wrong. But see how memorable that goal is. It's 15 years later, and it gets posted every time on that date. If you guys go ahead and win the Champions League, this De Bruyne goal will be remembered that just because it's a big goal. Yes, you didn't win, but you tied at the Bernabeu. And if you win next game and you end up winning the Champions League, this goal will be remembered as that Roy Keane goal as an example with against Juventus when we were 2-0 down.
No, we remembered even better than that.
Even Henry's goal at Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, still spoken about. We won 1-0, I think, in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Just before I bring everyone else in, I just want to say, Hamza, you are so lucky. You are so lucky that goal stood. Because there's on another day, another referee crew, another situation, that goal doesn't stand. That goal is out of play. The ball was out of play. It shouldn't have stood. Real Madrid kind of got robbed.
But VAR, if it was out of play, VAR would have ruled it out.
They didn't, basically, because it was so far back in the field of play. They didn't consider it out, and they didn't review the goal. Because it was so far back in the play.
But Camavinga had the ball. Camavinga had the play.
Jay, we can't hear you. Jay, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
Because Camavinga had the ball.
Yeah, Camavinga.
I was just saying, there's not a fan. Listen, don't worry, Hamza. It's good to see you, brother. There's not a fan base on this panel, today that hasn't benefited from VAR not being able to go back more than VAR went back this season. Every single team here has had a moment where if VAR could go back properly to an incident, they would have had a goal chalked off. But like something happened or a passage of play happened or this or that. So look, it's like the way I see it is this was a tight game between two excellent sides. And, you know, the second leg is going to be an all-timer, you know, perfectly positioned. Can City finally get the monkey off their back? You know, is it going to be Madrid again? All the narratives are ready to go. It's set up for all the play. Foden, Mahrez, Grealish, Haaland, De Bruyne, like all
Rodri,
these players. Roger, it's like, who wants to be a hero? Do you know what I mean? Who wants
a legend?
Yeah, exactly. So to me, this is perfectly poised. When you say look is what Madrid did to the City last season. Like when even when City had made that sub, so they subbed some of their key players and then they came back. So for extra time, City couldn't even. So the way I look at it is like, if City do it, it's like this is big. Like the way City have done it would be bigger than, because I was around for '99. I was a baby. I was a little kid, but I remember it, and I remember.
Will never be better,
bro. Listen, no, bro. United got the ass whooping of a lifetime in that game. Of a lifetime. See, it was like, you know, The Rock slapping them all over the arena.
They still won.
Bro, but
that's
what I'm trying to say. The way City are going to win this game or win the title is going to, like, they'll talk about this team forever.
Yes.
You know,
you want to know something? Jay, I just want to say this. I fully agree with you. And the reason why I agree with you is I look at Inter and AC Milan and I say they're pathetic sides. This might be disrespectful, but I really do look at them as not.
And that's how Mo you said this about his team.
I don't look at them as Champions League final caliber sides. I really do believe both AC Milan and Inter are basically playing for who's going to lose.
Listen, Egal, let me be honest with you, because you've done this a few times. And I think it is so cheeky. Listen, I don't think I can talk much on European football.
You've been in this situation.
Hold on, Egal. But we still played the Champions League final in the last 5 years. We still put Sporting Lisbon out of the Champions League, who then came to the Europa League to then put you out of the. But you're always talking so spicy.
Let me ask you a question.
No, Egal, hold on. Inter Milan.
What's ridiculous about what I said?
No, Egal.
Let him land.
Hold on. Milan knocked out Napoli. Yeah, Milan knocked out Napoli, and you put no respect on their name. Inter Milan topped a group. Yeah, got through a group with Barcelona in it, sent them packing. But you talk about these teams
in Bayern,
like they're nothing, and you're like, well, you know, bro, you lost to Sporting, you lost to Villarreal, yeah, and you're talking about these teams like they're not of the level to. Bro, you've got to be in it to win it. And next year, for the first time in 7 years, you're in it. So congratulations.
Okay, I'm just going to say this. Does anyone disagree with me here that this kind of reminds you of Liverpool when they went to the final and they were going to face the winner of Ajax Tottenham? Because the same thing for me. Bro, it's the same thing for me. The reason why you're kind of getting offended is because it's similar.
Bro, the reason I'm getting offended is
the winner
Bayern Munich beat the shit out of you.
The winner of the AC Milan Inter Milan tie is playing to be second. No matter who goes out of those ties, neither of those teams are of the caliber of Real Madrid or Manchester City, and you can just see it basically as being played.
Hold on.
We have two geriatrics in Dzeko and friggin' Henrik Mkhitaryan delivering in the Champions League semi-final. It's really pathetic that's the side that's going to be.
No. Listen. Yeah, I think that's listen, Egal. That I was gonna side with you a little bit, but then you became a little bit too much disrespectful here. I tell you something. I will gladly.
Jay puts me in the corner, but my point was either side who gets to the final is losing.
Yes, Egal, but
I'll tell you something. You shouldn't be calling them pathetic.
Yeah, let let me just say my opinion on this, right? Because I am agreeing with you and Jay now. You're taking the beauty out of European knockout football by saying that. We understand that, yes, it involves a lot of luck for you to get to these stages in the Champions League or even the Europa League. Yes, we know it's like if you want to judge a team by how good they are, you look at their position in the league, not the Champions League, because the Champions League involves the luck of the draw. You know, sometimes all you have to do is just win within 90 minutes or 180 minutes. So yes, I understand that by no means whoever reaches the final are they the second best European team in Europe. Like Inter, if they lose in the final, or AC Milan, they're not the second best team in Europe. We get that. But I think you're dismissing how hard it is sometimes to just stay focused on your draw. This is the team that you drew for the next 2 games. All you have to do is outperform them in 180 minutes or 90 minutes, depending on how the first game goes. If it was that easy, Egal, like, no offense, like how Jay said it, like, you guys just never even won a Champions League, you know? So if it was that easy, we would all here be sitting. I mean, like, my team has one, teams has one, you guys don't. But if it was that easy, all of us here would sit with Champions Leagues. And I feel like we are just offended that you're dismissing what they did, especially a team like Inter Milan still had to go through Bayern and Barcelona and even Porto. I mean, Porto just turns up in Champions Leagues, you know. Same for AC Milan. They had to go through Napoli, the champions of Italy, you know. It's not like none of these guys were just gifted a position like, hey, do you want to go to the semifinal? Like, they still had to earn where they are. Are they favorites against Man City or Madrid in the final? No, I think we would all agree whoever goes there against Man City or Madrid will be the underdog. But we can't just call them pathetic. You know, it's just like, it's too disrespectful.
What about Benfica? Benfica, everybody was loving Benfica until Inter put them out.
Let the record show.
Oh, yeah, Benfica. Sorry, I said Porto, but I think it was
Let
Benfica.
the record show that I retract the pathetic statement. I was more just triggered. But I will say this. I do believe that
they're pathetic.
They have a combined 10 Champions Leagues, Egal. They have a combined 10 Champions Leagues.
I do believe that it's going to be a massive golfing class in the final between whoever gets to the final.
That's almost as bad as saying they're pathetic.
That's why. Yeah, you can't.
You know what? We gotta move on from the Champions League and get back to the Premier League.
Can I just have my say about City? City are a better team than Real Madrid. They didn't prove it last season because they were better for the vast majority of the time, and I think Madrid were better for 3 minutes at the end of the second half in the Bernabeu and in extra time, and that was enough for them. But I don't think it's going to be enough for this time. Man City are the better team. Man City will beat them at the Emirates at the Etihad, and Man City will win the treble.
You're trying to get me laughing. When man said at Emirates. We're gonna save this. We're gonna talk about this on Sunday again because I think they play next week, right? Is it next week or when is it?
Yeah, next week. Yeah.
Okay. Finally, will Manchester City slip up? Everton, all they need to do, sit back, relax, defend with your life, and one counterattack, bang, and it could happen. Listen, Sean Dyche, do something for me. Let's get it. I need it. I don't know if I'm deluding myself, but I honestly still believe Arsenal can win the Premier League, and I believe that it will only take this Everton game to put more pressure under Man City. They've kind of shifted their focus to try to win the Champions League and kind of looked away from the Premier League lately because I feel like their performances in the Premier League have not been.
Let me just touch on this. Do you know what's so funny is that you're so not used to competing on multiple fronts. Yeah, you're saying that they're doing this and doing. Bro, they've just got lots of games to play. They just got games to play. Like you're saying. How are they meant to focus on Everton when they've got a Champions League semi-final? Like I'm sure their attention is accordingly ready to take on Sean Dyche's men. Like, let's not forget Newcastle went up there and packed them. Yeah, absolutely packed them. So Everton will be up for it, but I mean, I think I think you're being a bit harsh on the old City boys.
I
You know,
think.
Egal, I have a question.
That's a lot of credit. Go ahead.
So City, if they win their games in hand, they're 4 points ahead of you, right? How many games has City got left? 5 games?
4.
Something like that.
Okay.
Four.
So where?
Four.
4
Everton,
games.
Chelsea, Brighton, Brentford. 4.
Okay. So of those 2 games, they need to drop points twice. Which 2 games do you think they're going to drop points in, or more? Or do you think they're going to drop points in 3 or 4?
No. The reality is this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking
It's
at
not a reality. It's what you think. It's not reality.
This is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Everton, and I'm saying this has to be a game where they drop points. If they don't drop points against Everton, I don't see them dropping points against Chelsea at home.
Is it away?
Right. It is away. So 3 of their last 4 games are away games. The games that I'm looking at for them to potentially drop points are against Everton, Brighton, and Brentford. Similar to last year when you guys were looking at them versus Wolves, you needed Wolves to do something. I'm looking at them. Hopefully Everton can do something. Wolves didn't do nothing for you guys last year. Hopefully Everton do something for me this year.
Hamza, so Hamza
then
went
Brighton.
through Sam Allardyce and then Shandaish. That's 2 fossil football teams in a row.
Dirty.
So you think he's prepared?
It was Sam Allardyce last week, and now it's Shandaish.
I think Egal's right. Like, listen.
I think that Everton, Brighton, Brentford, there is a potential of 2 drop point situations in those 3 games.
Egal's right. Listen, as a City fan, this is what I've been looking at. I've been saying, beat Leeds, beat West Ham, Everton away is tough because it's a Real Madrid game in between them. The funny thing is, there's one thing that's letting us down. DM, what has saved us this season that you haven't seen? Rodri's not been injured. If Rodri was injured, we'll never win this league because Calvin Phillips is not trustworthy. We don't trust him. Now, oh my God, don't even say no. We're not talking about that. We'll talk about let him get injured.
What's happening?
Listen, after the Champions League final, listen. The key thing to me, can Calvin Phillips play this game? Can Calvin Phillips play with someone else? Pep can't trust him because I saw the Leicester game. He brought him in. We're winning 3-0 up. And Leicester nearly came back, man. When we made 5 changes. You see, I'm scared. This is away at Everton. Calvin Phillips these days gets brought up when it's 85 minutes and we're 2-0 up. Not 75, not 60. At 85 minutes, he's told, smile at that camera. Yeah, show that you're happy, and then I'll allow you to come on. That's what. But we can't trust him. I have never said the most important player for us is Rodri. I don't know who's gonna play midfield. I know Alvarez starting. I know Ford and Amara is starting. I know Laporte is starting. I know Akanji is starting. I know Rico.
Ain't Gundogan play that role, Hamza?
But he played 90 against Leeds. He played 90 against Real Madrid. We got to play 90. Oh my God, that's what's stressful.
So you're saying your midfield is going to be weak against Everton?
No, the question is, if you're Pep, guys, I want to ask you, because that's why I need to get therapy. Yeah, you're Pep Guardiola. You got a Champions League game. What do? I've been asking people because I'm scared.
You know what you do? You rest players versus Everton, potentially drop points.
The thing is, oh God, because okay, you can rest them, take that loss, win a Real Madrid, and go on war again. That's a problem. That's another thing. Go and win Chelsea, Brentford, and Brighton.
Is that bad?
The thing is, okay, even if you get a draw, because you don't want to lose, but if you can walk away with a point, that's also not that bad, right? Because then you've got 3 games left, and you've got a goal different advantage on top of above Arsenal. So you've also got.
But Brentford's tough away, man.
Sorry, yeah, but they will be tough.
I want to give up that as a loss. I want to take every 3. I want to take win, loss. Get everyone to rest.
Listen, I just counted on Brentford to beat Liverpool, and they couldn't do a job for me. So I wouldn't bet them up that
they're
much.
home. They're Brentford.
This Liverpool team right now are supernova. Like they're going mental.
No, they're not. Bro. Listen, even Rack. I mean, we'll get to that, but even Rack will tell you they're winning, but they're not blowing teams out of water.
Yeah, we're not great.
Yeah. So when we get to that, but let's not act like they're like Liverpool 20. What was it? 19.
You know what? Let's just shift past this so we can do this quickly. What are we saying for Man City, Everton, guys? I'm gonna go.
Hold on, Egal. I just wanted to say one more thing before we make predictions. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
because Hamza's sitting here stressing about, oh, what do? You know, we got to bench Reggie or whatever. I'm going to use that to pick up one guy that's been getting a lot of disrespect on the media lately, like this week and last week. You know, Pep is better, Pep is better, Pep is better. Not that I'm saying Pep is not as good as Fergie or, you know, on the same level. But this guy right here behind me used to win trophies, won a treble while rotating a team. And now you guys are feeling that stress where you're like, oh, we need to rest Rodri for Real Madrid. Who do we play against Everton? This guy behind me here was doing that, and he got a lot of disrespect. So that stress that you're going under right now, I lived in that Fergie era where he used to bench Carrick out of nowhere and Scholes out of nowhere and Giggs out of nowhere, and we used to win games, you know? So I want everyone to use this as a chance to give this guy more credit than he deserves because he's being disrespected lately, and I didn't like that. But go ahead.
The good thing you had Roy Keane, I remember, and you bring Nicky Butt. Calvin Phillips cannot be trusted even against Southampton Carling Cup. We lost that game because we played Calvin Phillips. He was one of our players.
You know what, Hamza? This guy was one of the best DMs before he went to Manchester City. And I'm not gonna disrespect. No, because a lot of people wanted him. What's their name? Spurs wanted him. We wanted him. I forgot there was one more. I think was Liverpool linked to him as well. Like, he was a good name going on when he was with Leeds, and now all of a sudden we're talking about how shit he is. I'm not gonna use that as a way to disrespect Pep, because Pep always improves players. But like, come on, man.
I think it's worried about everything. I think
Maxino Peron is a young guy. Someone said Maxino Peron. Maxino Peron is a fantastic player, but he's on the bench. He's young. I want to play him the last game when we lost. We need to lose.
First season syndrome. If he lasts until next season, because his fitness is a big question. I'm just gonna go. I go 1-0 Everton. Ballsy. Let's get a loss. I need them to lose. But what are you guys saying? Everyone, quickly. Let's just breeze past this.
City
I guess you
City win 3-0.
3-0 Man City. Staffy?
Leave me last, bro. I need a minute to think about this.
Hamza.
Oh my God, I've not been stressing a game like this. For Premier League, I normally talk with chest. But this one, I don't know, man. I think 1-0 or 2, just 2-1. Escape, man. But we don't want injuries, man.
Okay. Hamza out, people are saying. Big up my guy. What are you saying? What are you saying, Jay? Quick prediction.
I think this is the sort of game that City scrape something, maybe a screamer from somebody late on after a tight game.
Okay.
That kind of energy.
All right. And then Safi?
I feel like every time I doubt City, they end up like slapping someone. It just feels like one of those. My heart is telling me an upset, but I'm gonna go 3-1 City.
Okay. Arsenal, Brighton. We're going to slap Brighton. I'm saying we're gonna go there. We're gonna beat them 3-0. They're gonna get humbled.
You're playing at home.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are good at home.
I think the best scenario for me, beat Everton and get us, Brighton, to do me a favor. Get a draw or even beat you. I'm happy.
You know what? Brighton just lost very bad. I think they bounce back. I don't think they lose 2-0.
I think they bounce back. I'm having faith that they've lost 5-1.
Brighton do get results against us. They're a bogey team. They knocked us out of the League Cup.
How'd you guys do against them in the first game, Egal? Because I don't remember that one.
They won.
We won 4-2 at their ground, but we lost to them in the league, in the FA Cup or League Cup. Was it League Cup?
They're such a good team, yeah. That they had that.
We beat us in our ground already this season.
They had a fantastic midfield of Caicedo, McAllister, and they had that player who had to retire because of his heart. What's his name?
Mwepo.
Oh, Mwepo,
Mwepo. And he was good, man. He was very good. And that's why I believe they've lost 5-1. I'm hoping if I was the Brighton manager, I say, listen, prove me. Come and show the world. You've just lost 5-1. People are laughing at you. Go to the Emirates and get.
You know, Hamza, he deserved that humbling because that pussy was coming out talking too much about us. He said that they should have beat us in the semifinal. Oh, we played better than them in 2 games. I'm like, why are you so? Remember, I didn't like that. And then right away he got dunked on 5 from.
No, I like him. He's my favorite.
He deserved that. But listen,
Deserve being sore loser.
I think they bounced back. But here's the thing: I don't know if you guys noticed, but Solly March, who's a very good player for them this season, he's out. Yeah, so he's not going to be playing. Now, I don't know what they do much on that right-hand side when Solly March is out. I can't, because I remember Trossard used to, like, float around for them one day in the middle, one day on the right, one day on the left. I haven't seen them without, proper coverage on that right-hand side. So I don't know if that's going to hurt them or not. Arsenal might just be too much for them. I do think they should bounce back, but, like, I don't know. I think Arsenal have a good feeling about this game. So I don't know. It's hard to go against Arsenal this week.
We make sure we're gonna end their top 4 race. They've done that to us numerous times. now, what are you saying, Rack? Score prediction?
Yeah, Arsenal win 2-0.
Jay, you there? Jay's not there. You know what? We're gonna move on now to the top 4 battle. But before we do that, quickly, I'm just gonna say, Hamza, you're never gonna sell us another player, are you? Because we're linked to Cancelo today. I don't think for a second Arsenal are going to sign Cancelo, by the way, people. So there's 2 rumors. Declan Rice, is he worth 120 mil? For me, no. But the reality is that's the money West Ham want. We're gonna probably end up paying 90 mil if we get him. And when it comes to Cancelo to Arsenal, it's not gonna happen, people. Man City, not in a million years will they sell us.
We're not selling any other player to Arsenal. We've done our business together. Thank you very much. No more business we're doing with you. So Cancelo is most likely going to, I think, is either going to buy in the question, are they going to pay? He's definitely coming back at City. The links is, I can see Real Madrid, Carvajal replacement or something.
Yeah, and Trossard to start, KBR to start, 100%. We're going to do a match preview for that tomorrow. But yeah, guys, any words on Declan Rice, 120 mil, or should we save that for the summer? Because I feel like that's going to be spoken about so much in the summer.
Yeah, there's nothing to add to it right now.
Not now.
He's a good player. He's not worth 120 million.
I don't think much players are worth 120 million. Enzo himself is not worth 120 million. No. He's a bright prospect. But yeah, let's move on to top 4. What are we saying, people? We got Manchester United, Liverpool, and Newcastle are the current top 4. I personally already picked my 2. I think Man United are the one to drop out. You got Newcastle, Liverpool, hopefully solidify it. But yeah, Staffy, talk to me, bro. How you feeling about your United boys? You think people are counting you guys out too quickly?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone's panicking too much, especially in my fan base. I explained for many reasons why I still think we're going to finish top 4. We've had a week's rest, and it's the first time we had a week's rest in I don't know how long. Like, you would literally have to look up for me, when's the last time we didn't play a midweek game? Because we've been in the Europa League the whole season, and the minute we got knocked out, we played the FA Cup semifinal, and then we played our one game in hand. I forgot who we played that midweek. So we haven't really seen the benefits of getting eliminated from the Europa League until this week. I feel like this team desperately needed some time on the training pitch. The manager needed them on the training pitch to work on what's going wrong with this team. We haven't had a chance to like regroup and, just get some rest. First of all, some physical and mental rest from all these games that we played, and just go back to the drawing board and work on what's wrong with us right now. I trust the coach. I said that on Sam's channel today. I was saying I trust the manager way more than I trust this team. I believe we overachieved with the players that we have this season. We've had like a very incredible run in the middle of the season when we were slapping teams and beating Barcelona and beating Man City. Like, we were going on a very good run. And I give all the credit to the manager over the players in that situation. And I trust him to see out the season. Like, it's just like, it would be such a heartbreak for me after what I think it's a good season for good first season for our manager, to end up flopping like that and missing out of the top 4. To me, that would be a big bottle job. You know what I mean? But I trust the manager. I think we go against Wolves, who have nothing to play for. They're basically like, they have one foot, in the beach right now. So I think we go and we get the job done. Actually, they're coming to us, so I think we get the job done at home. 2-0 Man United.
2-0 Man United, giving us a score prediction right off the bat. Then we go to Rack. Rack, what are you saying? Leicester, Liverpool, though you're currently on top form. Do you get top 4? And do you think Newcastle or Man United fall out for you? And who do you think it is?
Look, I still think it's going to be beyond us, but that's just pure. That's mainly because there's so few games left, and United's games are reasonably straightforward. But they have had a bit of a wobble, and if they were to drop points in this game, I think there's a very good chance that we could do it. I mean, they still got the advantage. Even if they were to drop points, they still
We can
would have
afford
the
one
advantage.
loss. Yeah, we can afford one loss.
But psychologically, that will really kind of give them some jitters. So I don't know. We've just got to do our job. I think Leicester aren't very good at the moment. Their league position says that. In recent years, we've had a decent record there, although they did beat us last year, if I remember correctly.
I wasn't going to ask you that, Rag. Didn't they beat you in Anfield with that when Salah missed the penalty? Or was it last season or was it before that?
I mean, they definitely bet. Well, I'm pretty sure they beat us last season. We lost 2 games last season. One was to Leicester and one was to West Ham.
Yeah, and I think Salah missed the penalty that day. That's why I was saying.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But I think that was Leicester. That was at home when Leicester were at home.
Yo, Jay, what are you doing? You're gonna get me copyright strike. What are you doing, bro? Please.
I thought it was you, bro.
What is he doing? Literally, that like 2 seconds can get the whole stream finished.
Egal, you can't post that to your Spotify now.
Yeah, he ruined the whole thing.
All right. Anyway,
Go ahead.
So yeah, it's still a bit of a long shot for us to get top 4, but anyhow, United drop points, then we will be smelling blood, and they will start. I think they will get nervous because the 2 games that they've lost recently, not easy games. Away to Brighton, not easy. Away to West Ham, okay, they haven't had the best of seasons, West Ham, but they've got some good players, and obviously De Gea kind of messed up a little bit for the goal. The Wolves don't have much to play for, but they do have good players. They don't have a great record at Old Trafford, as far as I'm aware, so I don't expect them to win. But if they can get something, who knows?
Fair enough. You know what? Let's hear the Newcastle case. Hamza, what are you saying? You got a case for Newcastle?
Newcastle, yeah. I think they're gonna make that top 4. I think they're on form. They lost to Arsenal, but I think the next couple of games are quite tough. Is it Leicester?
They play Leeds and then they play Brighton.
Leeds and Brighton. So Leeds is away. Yeah, I know. Leeds are fine for it. So they can beat Leeds, but it's Sam Allardyce and his tactics. If they win the next 2 games, I think they're quite comfortable. I think Liverpool left it too late. They're waiting for Man United to sleep. We are all praying for United to sleep because no one wants United to make top 4. But I think Liverpool left it too late. I can't see United dropping points against Wolves. Liverpool win all their games, but apparently they need 2 games to slip up, and I think it's impossible unless a shock happens at Wolves, like completely. That would be a shock where Wolves goes to Old Trafford and they draw or beat United, and I can't see that. So United are going to win that game, and Newcastle are going to win that game.
Fair enough. Jay, do you want to wrap it up with your top 4 prediction? Oh, yeah, I think you're on mute.
Look pretty good for it. I mean, I don't want them to fucking make it to the top 4. But sorry. I think he said before you come on the show, don't swear. Oh,
that's Jay. That's his last appearance on Egal's show.
I know.
It's cool. But yo, take it away, man. What are you saying?
But yeah, no, I think United, if they bottle top 4, Ten Hag would be under immense pressure next season. Straight away, straight off the bat, immense pressure. I remember when Rodgers didn't get top 4 with Leicester, but won the FA Cup. And people were not forgiving They still called him a bottler. So I'm watching United closely. I think with them, the style of play that was promised hasn't really appeared yet. This just seems like a slightly more succinct version of Ollie Ball at the moment. But
Not really.
well, I mean, I think the thing is you're still predominantly a counter-attacking side. You still predominantly play a pretty deep line. You still are capable of getting battered by teams and overrun. But you spent £200 million on the squad. So I'm not trying to say that Ten Hag hasn't done a good job. I'm just saying that if he was to bottle top four, that all of the stuff that people used to beat Ollie with would come right to the top immediately. And next season, he'd have very little wiggle room. That being said, is Garnacho going to the World Cup? The under-20s?
I heard that, but I'm not sure. I don't think anything just came out. I think
I
it's
haven't heard anything about that.
If
he did say he was going.
United need him. But I don't know. I think United should win this game, but when's the last time United played a good 90 minutes?
I'm gonna be really honest with you. The last time we played, other than the Aston Villa game, we played a good game against Aston Villa, and we should have won more than 1-0. That's one of those games where
wasn't it Leicester?
more. Now, I was gonna say the last actual good 45 minutes we played was against Sevilla. The same day we had the injuries to Lissandra and Varane. Actually, our season has went down after that one good half, because then that's when we. No, he should. They said he should be back around the Wolves game, but we haven't got a confirmation yet. I think we'll hear from.
Are you talking about the injuries, or are you talking about when you because of your injuries now you've seen that?
No, I'm saying after that. Actually, it was the same game we got the injuries. We just haven't. I feel like there's a lack of confidence in this team. It's so many things. I don't want to blame it on one thing. Definitely the tactics in some games, the mentality, the fatigue. And definitely the injuries. I just don't talk about the injuries a lot because the injuries is not the reason Luke Shaw got a handball and De Gea, couldn't hold the ball. That's why I really don't talk about them. I try to be as real as possible.
You know what? I'm good. I'm just gonna do my thing and say, you know what? Manchester.
I just want to mention one thing. Hold on, Egal. I just want to mention one more thing. I just looked it up because I was curious. Wolves have the second worst record away from home this season. They only have 2 wins. The only team that has less wins than them is Nottingham Forest. They have 1. So they're joint bottom and the amount of wins that they have away from home. If they beat us, we 100% don't deserve top 4. I'm just gonna put it out here.
Listen, I've got one thing to say. Everyone always has this.
You still have games in hand on Liverpool, so regardless.
Yeah, they have a game in hand. Everyone always says this is famous phrase, right? Expectations change as the season changes, right? That's true. At the start of the season, I think not many people, or I don't know, maybe some United fans had them finishing in top 4, and slowly but surely they got better and better, up to the point where at one point they were in the title race. Significant Man United fans were saying we're in the title race. They just beat City. They were within 3 points of them.
Leicester.
We were 5 points behind.
What behind City or behind Arsenal?
Behind Arsenal.
Okay, all right. I don't know. I mean,
that was a weird.
If you were less than 5 points, 3 points, less than 3 points behind the team who are going to be the eventual champions, probably. But then since then, those expectations have gone down. So if you're going to change, if expectations of the season changes, when you're close to the top fighting for the title, and then all of a sudden you get surpassed by Newcastle, I think some people might ask some questions. Don't get me wrong; it's his first season, so I'll cut him some slack. But expectations change also in a negative light, but no one really talks about that.
You want to know something?
To be fair, though, let me just say one more thing. To be fair, though, when it was 5 point, there was a 5 point gap. It instantly became an 11 point gap because we had 2 games postponed anyways, and then Arsenal went ahead and won. So that 5 point gap became 11 without us having to play a game. So that title challenge really never was one because, like, at no fault of our own at the time, Arsenal were just winning. This is why I didn't lose my head. I was like, if Arsenal lose and then when we play our postponed games, we get like 3 points, 6 points, whatever it is, then I'll start talking about it. But yet again, I'm one of the rational ones. I remember seeing it. Like, that's why I don't blame you. I remember the meltdown on Twitter.
I'm okay. The crazies.
No, not just me. Come on, bro. You gotta give me some credit here. I try to say as well balanced as I can on this show.
We will give you credit. I'm just gonna wrap it up with my predictions. Man United beat Wolves. Liverpool slap Leicester, and Leicester are probably gonna get relegated. Leeds get a result versus Newcastle, Sam Allardyce, and Newcastle are the
Leeds get a result against Newcastle.
Leeds actually get a result against Newcastle, and Newcastle face Brighton, and they drop points in back-to-back games, and Newcastle go from 3rd to 5th come the end of next week, where Liverpool overtake Newcastle. I think Manchester United or Newcastle, one of them is going to drop out.
Wait, Egal, you just said we're going to drop, but now you're saying Newcastle's going to drop. This guy's playing all his cards, bro.
I'm changing it. I'm putting a skip Bayless. Listen to what I'm saying, okay? I want Man United to drop out. I want Liverpool in the top 4 next season, for our Champions League next season. But the team that I want to see, drop out is one of the two, either Newcastle or Man United. I don't really want Liverpool not to make it. I want Liverpool to make it. I want to see Liverpool in the Champions League next year. I think Newcastle aren't prepared for the Champions League, and if they drop out of the 3 teams, it'll probably be the team that it doesn't affect the most in the most negative way. Where Manchester United drop out, it will affect them. Liverpool drop out, it will massively affect them. Newcastle drop out, it's kind of like, you know what? They were happy to be in the top 4 battle in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
For our sake, that actually would be good if Newcastle don't make Champions League. But because that just only increases their revenue, which allows them to spend more money that we already know that they have, So that means they're going to attract more players that our teams would want. And why wouldn't you want to go to Newcastle if they're in Champions League? So it would be a good thing, as much as I hate Liverpool. But
you want to know something? I'll be honest, though. I've changed my top 4 like 4 or 5 times this season. First, it was Newcastle, Man United. Then it became Newcastle, Liverpool.
Changed it twice on this stream.
Rack, I convinced him. I guess I'm a good speaker, bro. I go on one explanation, and this guy already has us in the top 4.
Listen, it is what it is. We're gonna now shift gears quickly to the Manchester United owner. If you could give us the cliff notes, what the hell's going on with the owner thing? Because I'm not like Hamza. I'm not jumping saying, "Oh, Ratcliffe United's owner," and start celebrating. Because I really don't care to celebrate your ownership change at this moment in time until I see one of the owners holding up the United kit. That's me.
Bro, it's every other day though. The news change. One day it's like, oh, the Qatars are the preferred bid, and then it's Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and then it's Qatar again, and then it's Ratcliffe again.
Today the Glazers have chosen Jim.
Yeah,
Ratcliffe.
According to the Sun though. So I don't know how credible do you find the Sun, but according to the Sun,
is pretty credible nowadays.
No, they're not. They're a joke, man. Everyone laughs at them.
No, everyone laughs at them because of the sensational takes that they have that they post. But like the reality is, more times
than
not
none. Really credible though. No, they're not really. Even Rack's face, he was like, "What the hell?" Like, look at Rack. He's shaking his head. But basically,
Liverpool fans will never like the Sun because of the fact that they wrote an article about them and the Hillsborough incident, that they went like very nasty towards the fans that passed away.
But I don't think that's what Rack was thinking of, to be honest. I mean, yesterday I was on the terrace and we were talking about it, and they said the same things. Everyone was like, "I don't know how credible it is."
That's where they lost their credibility. That's where they originally lost their credibility. Is when they started making up lies for sensational headlines. That's where they originally lost their credibility as an organization.
Well, whatever it is, long story short, they're basically the meltdown with the United fans, which I understand, is that Ratcliffe basically is trying to buy the club. And the thing about him is he's allowing the Glazers to stay with a 20% stake for the next 3 years. So basically, like, long story short, he buys the club, and in 3 years, he buys their stakes out. So they get to stay for another 3 years, which they believe, for some reason, I don't know if they believe the Super League will be back or because they're going to do that whole streaming thing for the Premier League where basically all the games are going to be streamed on one app. So they're basically predicting more income coming in, and they don't want to miss out. They're caught up in between. Should we sell 100% and get our money now, or should we just be patient a little bit longer and get a little bit more money out of it? And the reason there's a meltdown with the Man United fans is that they feel like, as much as Ratcliffe is eventually going to have the club to himself without the Glazers, he's still basically making a deal with the devil where he's keeping them for 3 more years. They're still getting money. He promised to keep to bring the club back to the fans and take it away from the Glazers. So people feel like, like he's flip-flopping on his words. And ultimately, they feel like Qatars are a better project anyways, which I agree. I mean, when you look at them, I'd rather have the people that just hosted the best World Cup in history over Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his group of people, So that's just the dilemma that they're caught up in between. In addition to that, where a lot of people are not really aware, the Qataris kind of wanted to, they asked about Liverpool first, because if you guys remember, Liverpool was announced for sale first a few months before Man United. But then when Man United got announced for sale, no offense, Rag, but we are the bigger fish, at least economically, So they were like, all right, there's a bigger target right now. Let's try to own Manchester United. If the Qataris fail to own Manchester United, have no doubt they're still going to buy another club in England, because the ultimate goal, as much as they like Man United and as much as they say Sir Jim is a Manchester United fan,
come on, buy Crystal Palace.
The goal was always
that's my local guys.
Listen, the goal was always to have a club in England.
Hamza,
that
put
is
down
their
your
goal.
banana and rice and come on the stream, man.
So if they don't end up buying Manchester United, a lot of people, even Hussam says that on his channel a lot, that he forgives them if they come back. They will ultimately go for Liverpool. So not only do you lose the Qataris, they're going to go buy your biggest rivals. And to be honest, whoever is going to be owned by the Qataris is going to be the bigger club. If there's a debate now, there's not going to be a debate in a few years. So it just makes it makes the matter worse.
Yo, Hamza, are you eating pasta and banana?
Why did it look like Hamza in his car, man? What are you doing, Hamza?
Whoa.
My mom told me to go and get milk, so I'm waiting in my car later on. Then I'm gonna drive out.
Yeah, this guy.
Otherwise, there's no Weetabix tomorrow.
Listen, Hamza, let me ask you a quick question. What are you saying? The ownership situation at Man United.
I called it. I said, listen, there's something in business where you test the waters. So I put the house on the market to see where the value is. Yeah. So I've been saying, listen, as soon as they put that on sale, and the biggest mistake I think Qatar made, they twerked for United. They were saying we've been always a United. We will do anything to buy United. You're looking desperate. You're looking like a desperate buyer. And the bid. So as soon as I start seeing, Egal, round 1, these guys are involved. Round 2, they're still bidding. Round 3, come on. And when I saw this, I'm thinking, oh my, now you're looking more desperate. To me, as a City fan, I pray for days like this to see.
Well, Hamza, what did you expect him to do? What did you expect him to do? If there's rounds of bids.
Listen, no, but you don't look desperate. You don't look desperate. You don't say, you don't look at, I'm pretty sure you don't show yourself like a desperate. You just say, and I'm a United fan. I've loved United. Okay, you've been a glory hunter. Buy it then. Look, what's going to happen? They're clever. 1 second, you've been bidding this much. I can hold this stake for 2-3 years. I'm not going to earn 5 billion. I might get 7-8 billion. Yeah, that's a big difference in their lives. So, if I was Glazers, I'm keeping that. I'm shaking hands with Reina. Yeah, we're keeping together. Keep protesting every 11 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Keep waiting for the protest. It has not worked. So me, as soon as the day that it breaks the news, I am the happiest man. It's a quadruple for me. It's a treble plus another trophy.
Yeah, because Hamza knows what's coming if Qatar.
I know.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I personally, I'm not celebrating because I don't think Qataris lose. Like, I was watching the Terrace today, and they're saying like these guys don't tend to lose. When they want something, they tend to get it. So at this moment in time, all the information that we keep hearing, I think it can change any moment, and it can be.
Egal, I'm putting 100%. Remember what I said to you before? I've been saying it. There is no way Qatar are buying that. It's going to Ratcliffe. Basically, game over, done.
You know what?
Listen,
we'll see.
Hamza, Qataris are the same. They're the same people, not same exact people, but they're the same people that refuse to sell Mbappe to Madrid, saying, "No, we are going to be the biggest club in Europe." It's an ego thing for these people, and this is why Egal's saying what he's saying, where he feels like they're not going to lose.
But if the Glazers want to stay, if 2 of these 5 Glazers want to stay, then the only potential option is Jim Ratcliffe. Well, actually, Jim Ratcliffe is one, and the other option is potentially to get some other kind of fund to invest and do something. It comes down to how they want to be involved. The issue is though, if the Glazers want to stay and Jim Ratcliffe wants to buy, there's not really going to be, because how does that work? If Jim Ratcliffe wants to invest into the club, really, the Glazers should also match that investment. So if they're putting in £100 million, for example, then not just Jim Ratcliffe would have to invest a certain proportion. In theory, for it to be equitable, the Glazers would have to put in and we haven't seen them do that. So that is a question mark. I don't know how that would work on a practical level because they've never invested their own money in the past.
Not only that, one of the things also that's really triggering the Manchester United fans is that debt that still exists, the 800, 900 million. There's no clear wipeout to that plan if Sir Jim Ratcliffe buys the club. Whereas the Qataris, as I spoke, I think I said it on your channel before, Egal, where they're dedicating 10 billion into basically purchasing the club, paying off the debt, improving the infrastructure, and investing in a squad. Where they just broke down, they were like, listen, we're coming in with 10 billion, we're going to do X, Y, Z. Whereas Ratcliffe, we don't even know if he's going to come in and wipe out the debt right away. So that's even pissing off the Manchester United fans even more. You know what I mean? It's a whole mess financially, bro, because listen, the Glazers want to stay just to get more dividends out of the club. But yet again, they didn't take out dividends this year because of the losses the club has suffered. I don't want to act like a financial expert, but just to sum it up real quick, they didn't even take out dividends in the last period where they were supposed to. We have a whole thing going on with the stadium where the stadium actually is too old to be, what's the word that I'm looking for? They're not even trying to reinvest in the stadium. They actually have to rebuild a new one.
Refurbish, yeah.
Refurbish. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. So they don't even want to waste time and money on that. So it just makes it worse and worse and worse. This is why they're caught up in between, staying with a little bit of stake, but at the same time, ultimately selling and getting our money's worth right now. So it's a whole mess. Bro.
I don't think anybody knows what the hell they're talking about when it comes to the actual selling of the club, because there's so much misinformation that's been floating around. One day it's the Qataris have won it, it's over. Next day it's Jim Ratcliffe has been chosen. Tomorrow it's going to be another thing. I'm just going to wait and see what actually happens. For now, it's going to be fun to talk about it. This deal is going to take a while. It's not something that happens in 2 seconds. So as a fan base, you guys should be calm. And as rivals, we shouldn't get too giddy about Jim Ratcliffe yet, because little do we know, he might actually come in and do really well for them. But it just might not. It's definitely not the Qataris, of course. But yeah, I got to move on to the Tottenham thing. Does anybody else have anything else to say on United before we move on? No? Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. So let's go. Jay, you back? Let me know if Jay's back. Guys, Kulusevski. Tottenham don't know if they want to spend 35 mil on
who said
what kind of joke is this?
Who said this?
Bro, Jay, what's going on in your club? Could you actually lose Kulusevski?
No.
This window?
Is he still on loan?
Yeah.
What is this fake news, Egal, that we're pushing here? This fake news, this fake narrative that I'm hearing that Spurs don't want to buy Kulu. Who said that we don't want to buy Kulu? Who said this?
I'll tell you.
and this better be at least a tier 3 journalist, Egal. I'm giving you a bit of leeway here because I know it's definitely not a tier 1.
The sources are trust me, bro.
They're not so silly.
No, 1 second. It says multiple reports.
Reports. And you,
the famous journalist, multiple reports.
Okay, so can you give me one of the multiple reports you got?
A single report of the multiple reports.
I'm gonna find it for you. 1 second. Nico, how do you pronounce this guy's name? 1 second.
This better not be Nicolas Shearer.
Nicolas Shearer.
Yeah, Nicolas Shearer.
He said it better not be him, and it wasn't.
Oh my god!
How do you pronounce this?
Nicolas Shearer is not what I would classify as a credible journalist. In my opinion, I think Kulu's staying. I'm pretty sure that based on the actual deal, he's already hit the mark he needs to. I think he needs to play in 50% of our games, 50% of the minutes, and I think he's done that. So it's a bit of a non-story, really. I don't think you can really get much better than him on the right wing for that kind of money. I'm not sure whether what's he called now? I'm not sure whether Brian Gill will stay. So if he doesn't, then we're definitely going to buy somebody else. I've seen Lee Kang in rumors.
Who's that?
He's Valencia's little Korean creative attacking player. Good player. Like I can see us maybe grabbing him and not picking up Danjuma. But the thing is because we've got because Danjuma's on loan and his future isn't sorted yet, then I can't necessarily see us. And Lucas is leaving too, definitely. So it's one of those where I'm saying I'm not necessarily sure that we're gonna let someone like Kulu go as well, because obviously that's a lot of. Do you know what I mean? You're already letting go of. You're already letting go of Lucas. Probably not going to sign Danjuma. And then Gil might go as well. So to then let Kulu go too, just seems way too much. I don't fathom the club doing that.
Kulusevski is like one of the key parts of your rebuild, in my opinion. So it's like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, definitely. He's a top player, and he's had a difficult season. So
I think the article in itself is basically a banterous article. It's controversy. We get that a lot at our clubs. You probably seen that. You guys all seen that at United numerous times, probably. Staffy season. Liverpool, you probably see those articles every time you hear about a new contract for Milner. Mm-hmm. So it's just how it is. It's just how it is. No, let's be honest. Did anyone actually believe that Kulusevski would not be signed for 35 mil? Because I just think that's stupid.
No, of course we'll sign him for 35 mil. I mean, look, there's a real shortage of right wingers anyway.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe this is a non-story. I thought this was actually a story. Everyone thinks it's a non-story. The way everyone's reacting is pretty much a non-story, right?
To be honest, I didn't know of it at all until you mentioned it.
Okay, fair enough. So it's a non-story. Tottenham. Harry Kane spoke about the Conference League next season. Bro, is he actually going to stay?
I will say. We'll see.
I don't know, bro. I heard that if he stays, bro, I'm done with that guy. I have nothing to say about him anymore.
I think he's going to stay. I think he's going to stay to play in the Conference League. He said he has unfinished business. He wants to win a trophy with Tottenham.
Gives a shit about the Conference League, bro.
Harry Kane was an absolute idiot for signing the length of that contract that he signed.
What was it? 7 years that he signed?
He signed a 6-year contract, didn't he? Sign a 4-year contract. Yeah, be reasonable. Sign a 4-year. Give yourself a bit of a gap. You think Daniel Levy is gonna, after 3 or 4 years, out of the goodness of his heart, just let you toddle off to Manchester City? Are you stupid?
He's okay. Jay already messed it up.
Yeah, like Harry Kane only has himself to blame.
Enough. And then finally, Aston Villa, Tottenham. Who finishes higher? This is the game that decides it. Aston Villa away for Tottenham. Can they get all the 3 points? Before we go to Jay, Rakesh, what are you saying?
Who's home?
Aston Villa.
Spurs. They're not going through a good time at the moment, Spurs. I'll say a draw. 2-2.
Okay. That puts Aston Villa a little bit closer to Tottenham. Aston Villa win. They're level on points with Tottenham. Staffy, what are you saying?
You know what, bro? They haven't won any of their last 2 games against us and against Wolves. So this is closer than we think. I'm looking at it right now. I don't know, bro. You know, it feels like their purple patch is over. They were going on a good run, and it looks like it's over. So I'm gonna go with the Spurs on this one. You said they're home, right? Or is it Villa?
Aston Villa's at home.
Oh, Villa's at home. Oof, that changes. You know what? I'm gonna stick to it. Spurs win.
Fair enough, bro. This guy comes in every single day and says Amad Diallo is better than Saka. Like, I know you're trolling, but bro, Staffy, do you have any hope for Diallo? Does he even play for United next year?
You know what? I actually don't want him to play for us next year. I feel like he had such a good season, but it's still not enough to come in and play. Because let's be honest, we still have a lot of wingers. We have a lot of wingers that we can't get to play well this year. So why add another one? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I just want to send him on loan again. If he promotes, I'll tell you what, if he promotes Sunderland, because he took him to the playoffs, right? If he promotes Sunderland, I think he should stay with them one more year. Because, like, I look at what City did with Foden. Foden didn't need to have one good year to become a starter. They gradually gave him minutes until, like, his third year, I think, he started becoming, like, a regular, you know? And even right now, he's not a regular. I feel like Manchester United fans just need anything good to hang on to, that they just want anyone who played well come in.
Fan. He's an Amad Diallo fan.
I mean, he has to be a United fan if he likes Diallo. Unless, if he's not, then he must be from Ivory Coast. I don't know.
He must be from Ivory Coast.
Yeah, no, I like the kid, bro. I really do like him, but I want him to have one more year on loan. He's only 20 years old, bro. Like, I get what he did with Sunderland. It's really nice, but it is only 14 goals in, like, I don't know how many games they play in the championship. It's more than 38.
That's a lot of goals, still. Credit to him.
It is good, and I like his gameplay. I really do think he fits under Ten Hag's system because he's one of those players who's not just pacey. He's actually good on the ball, and he's very patient on the ball. He has that close control to him where he can dribble a player without having to outpace him and stuff like that. So he's a very good player. I think he's very intelligent as well. But I want to give him one more year to work on his development because he was like a frail little boy when he was with us. He goes to Sunderland. He tears it apart this season. All of a sudden, he's going to take us back to our glory days? No, like, I don't want him with that pressure. Just give him one more year. That gives Ten Hag that one more year to fix the club and fix the team, you know, and then bring him in. I don't want him back in the team next year. I want him to have one more loan.
Fair enough. Yo, Jay, you back?
I'm in and out. How
All right,
we
give
doing?
me your prediction for Aston Villa because this is a big game for you guys. It decides if you get Conference League or Europa League.
I've just got a sneaking feeling about Brighton dropping off a little bit. Not sure why. I'm just thinking maybe because they've still got a lot of hard games. So I think if we win, we'll make Europa.
See you guys later on. I gotta go. Peace out.
I think if we win, we'll make Europa. I think if we draw, we'll make Conference League, and I think if we lose, we won't make Europe.
It's probably better for you.
So with all that being said, Aston Villa's a win?
I think we could win. I think with a Villa team, the main thing I've noticed is you just got to match their intensity, match their runs, and other than that, we've got more quality than them, in my opinion. So we should be able to show that, but we'll have to see.
Don't worry, we're gonna batter Brighton for you, and then just like we beat Newcastle for what do you call it, my guy Staffy, and then you guys just do your business whenever you got to play anybody that we need help with in the future, because you did help us out with City. But anyways, we're out of here, people. Hopefully everyone has a great day. I'll catch you guys on Thursday for the next Vibes from the 6th, and Arsenal play on Sunday, right? Yeah, so it's going to be a busy Sunday for me. I'm not going to be doing any videos Saturday, but I'm going to be doing a video on tomorrow previewing the match. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to the stream, and we're out of here, people. Have yourselves a great one. Peace out, people.